Hi, I'm Alexandra Whittier-Sharon. I'm the president and CEO of Empress Royalty. We offer investors a strategic way to investing in gold and silver through the royalty and streaming business model. I'm joined here with our executive chairman, David Rhodes.
Hi guys.
How are you? Good,
So we're here in Quebec, sunny Quebec. Enjoying yourselves?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic conference.
Good meetings?
Really good meetings. We've had some great panel discussions. It's been a really, really great show.
Right, and I want to thank this guy for rocking it, because we've not spoken on camera before. No, we did once, didn't we?
Yeah.
London, back in those heady days. But we're going to reintroduce you to a much bigger audience now. So if you don't mind, I think it's probably worth setting out the business plan. What did you originally set up to do? And maybe we can get into where you are today.
Yeah, cool. No, appreciate that. So Empress was set up about 5 years ago. Part of the business I also am involved in is Endeavour Financial. Large financial boutique. We arrange financings for mid-tier mining companies, so development companies. And around that time, six years ago, we couldn't find anyone to do smaller streams and royalties. The guys like Wheaton, Franco, they've got large. They're doing large ticket sizes. They're 100 to 150 million. So no one's doing the small size. So we had a choice. We need to find somebody to fill that marketplace, and what better, set up your own company. So ourselves with Terra Capital, and brought on Alex and the team together to really create royalties in that small sector where there are no one else in
You
that
guys
space.
worked together before?
We did, yeah. So I started at PricewaterhouseCoopers and I joined Endeavour Financial as an analyst. David and I worked together when I was director of structural finance for many years in London.
Right, okay.
So, and a lot of the team is actually ex-Endeavour Financial or Endeavour Financial. We've really brought the group back together.
And that's what we did. To get something working well quickly, you got to know the people
Yeah.
and know how to work as a team.
Okay, so that's the kind of the setup and the structure, I guess. Let's talk about the types of financings that you were trying to solve, and then needed to go and set up your own royalty and streaming company.
Yeah.
So, wait, what sort of companies were we talking about?
So these are near producing or production companies. Really
Right.
looking for that little bit of capital just to expand the mill, to a bit more underground development work to feed the mill. So just the 5 to 10 million size.
Awkward
yeah.
size. The big guys not interested.
Yeah, and also if you think about it, if you go into a bank, they do 25, 50 million. So it's not a bank size.
Yeah.
If you go to equity markets, well, they open and shut. So,
Yes, we know that.
Yes, and
Welcome to London.
And also there's not a huge lot of appetite for the small stuff, because we'll also do private, so public and private companies.
Right, and so that's the ticket size, as it were. In terms of the types of companies or the commodity, gives an idea of what you're looking at.
Very much the thesis was precious, so gold and silver.
Right.
That's all we do. We're not going to taint it with some industrial metals. That's very much GDP, world growth linked. We're very much focused on financial instruments, which is gold and silver.
Okay, so then who did you go and get? Who have we got on the portfolio?
We've got 4 companies now that are generating revenue for us. We
Yeah.
have one in Peru, a private group called Sierra Sun.
Yeah. Right.
That's a gold stream that's been bringing revenue for about 2 years. That was helping them expand production. We have another one in Mozambique. We structured that as a royalty. It's development where we invested. It's now producing. We just announced we have Galaxy, who was, I think, just recently on with you,
spoke to them.
Nick. Yeah, so
Good guys.
we gave them that $5 million to get the new underground equipment going. We just got to site a couple weeks ago, so that the trading is happening now. That will help them ramp up.
Uh-huh.
And then we also have a silver stream on the Talawetta mine owned by Luca Mining.
Right.
And that one, they're just getting to commercial production now, so that will be the silver revenue that will start coming into Empress.
Right, and we spoke to quite a few precious metal focused royalty companies. Very few want to venture into the battery metals, 1 or 2, but which means it's quite a competitive environment, right? So how do you go about finding new projects to get involved with?
We haven't been in a competitive bid process to date, and I think it's kind of important to take a step back. There's different types of royalty and streaming companies. There's about 25, 30 of us that are public. There's ones who are doing exploration generation, so early stage, inexpensive to acquire, for a long lead time to revenue if it does in fact become a mine. And there's a whole bunch buying third-party royalties. Investment bankers are pushing portfolios through, very competitive, as you are saying, but you don't have a direct relationship with the company, and you're seeing pretty low returns in those types of investments. We're on the creation side, and that's using our background as structured financiers. And again, we're really able to focus our investment dollars into deals that will generate revenue quickly.
So what do you mean by creation side? Explain that phrase.
So we work with mining companies. We do a direct relationship with them. We're buying the gold and silver from them.
Right.
And we have, we're able to do extensive due diligence. We're able to have direct reporting. So we get monthly reports coming from them. We have biweekly calls. We can go to site whenever we want to. We take security over the assets as well, which makes us quite a bit more unique than someone just buying a piece of paper from somebody else.
Right. And in terms of, if I think about the timing, like Peru, at the time, a bit esoteric, is Mozambique probably not that well known, but it's obviously now I think it's a bit easier. I think we have like Perseus have kind of, you've got a project there. And see, what's your risk profile look like? Because if you're going to tread where others fear to, there might be great opportunities, but then you've got to be pretty darn sure about your ability to assess.
But I think you're right. It's the assessment side. So part of the team, and we've got David Lang, who used to run Endeavour Mining, the CEO of West Africa. So he knows Africa. He's also Chileno by birth, and he ran Equinox. So that's also South America. So the team we've got, and using the expertise of my team at Endeavour Financial, we've worked in all these other countries. So we won't recommend any investments on the Empress side unless we know the country. So we've transacted there. So we know the legal framework, we know the regulatory framework, we know the costs of working in that country. So it's one thing people say, oh, it's in a great country, but there's costs working in any country.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to know to be able to make your full assessment. So we don't view them as, you could say it's an educated risk. We've got the education expertise to say, okay, that is a reasonable structure for that transaction.
Right.
And for example, in Peru, the Doré sold to Metalor, the refinery in Switzerland, and that's where we get our gold credit. So we get paid offshore from Peru, and that's where we get our, as I say, our gold credit, which obviously then comes with, we cash that obviously as our revenue.
And what are you seeing in terms of the risk around timing? I get the assessment, educated risk, etc., because you've worked with those countries, but the timing at the moment, we're seeing a lot of companies blowing out their capital structure, trying to get stuff into production. They're near term, but they're just not able to get over the line, certainly not economically. I guess the economic bit is less interesting, so less of a concern to you guys in a way, but they need to eventually get there to be able to continue business, right?
Absolutely. And that's the other thing. We are sort of de-risking the investments because we're going for producers at the moment. And when we say development, it's sort of within 6 to 12 months from production. So we want all the permits are there before we put money in. All those elements that come into it, we're much closer to doing it, but taking the risk on some of it. And there's so much delay right now on projects going on.
Yeah.
We will layer in some development assets.
Yeah.
But as we're just getting, we've got 4 sources of revenue from now. 2 of those are development assets. They're just stabilizing. So as we get that stabilization in the portfolio by bringing new investments in and that diversification, then we will go a little bit earlier stage in a bit, but we're really just trying to get that consistent revenue coming in there.
Right, and what's that perfect portfolio structure look like? 4 at the moment is a start.
It's a start, yeah.
So what are you looking to build, and what would that profile look in terms of producing, development, etc.?
So we've got a $20 million or $28.5 million accordion facility with Navari. We drew down 3.5 to repay existing debt. We used 5 for Galaxy that we've just done in South Africa. So we've got $20 million US available to us. Using that cash, we can then, or that money, we can build out the portfolio. So we really want to do $5, $10 million investment sizes, bring in, 1, 2, 3, 4 more, and grow it out, have that revenue, which we can then reinvest back into the portfolio and continue to grow it. There's no shortage of opportunities to invest in for us. It's just choosing the right ones, the timing, and how we have that mix in the portfolio.
No shortage of people wanting your money, I suspect, but in terms of the quality, is that out there? Are you feeling comfortable that you can get some more deals done this year?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. We're in data rooms in quite a few at the moment. We've got term sheets out on 3, so we'll see how those evolve. We've rejected now 6 deals over the last 18 months. Of that, there's, for example, for one, we went and did the technical review site, hired the third-party engineers, went through that process. We looked at the mine plan with the engineers, or David Lang did, and we thought this isn't going to work. They actually went away and redid their mine plan. Yeah. And they came back about 4 months later, and we looked at it and we said, well, that's great, but the economics don't work now. You can't sustain the amount of stream that we wanted to put on that. Yeah. So you have to raise some equity. So, we really do roll our sleeves up and get involved in these projects.
Okay, and in terms of other growth opportunities out there, there's a lot of small royalty companies out there. There's an expectation there's going to be a lot of mergers of equals, acquisitions, however the hell you want to frame the actual mechanics of it. Is that something in terms of your level of ambition that you would look at on that side of the growth story?
It's obviously question that's asked a few times.
I bet.
A lot.
As you can imagine. We're becoming quite unique now because we are the only precious metals creation company. Even Wheaton did a cobalt deal. They've got cobalt on the books. They're done palladium, etc. So they're not purely precious. Recently, one of the other the royalty companies did a copper investment. So we're becoming the only gold and silver creation company out there, which is a great model.
Why?
So, because financial instruments, gold and silver are very much used. I know silver is slightly industrial, but it's just still a financial instrument. So we're just focused on two precious metals, which we believe have a great future. So I am a strong believer that gold will continue to accelerate in price due to various factors, which we haven't got long enough to talk about. And silver obviously has already gone up a third. So our portfolio in silver is already worth a third more than it was only a couple of months ago, and will hopefully continue. So using that as a pure dedicated strategy, not blending it with industrial metals, which obviously are very much growth, GDP growth related, makes us a very unique proposition for people looking to invest in gold and silver, but not in the mining companies. We've already done the investments. We've got a portfolio. And if you look at it as like a mining company, okay, we've got 4 assets and they're producing revenue. So we've got a good portfolio which we're looking to expand. So we've got expansion of our portfolio and the pipeline Alex spoke about. Additionally, we've got price acceleration that's happening in the market.
Right,
as well.
okay.
And that revenue is just starting to build into the company.
Where are we with revenue at the moment?
We did about $4 million last year, so we doubled our revenue on that. So we're
Right.
forecasting between about $7-8 million this year, US.
Okay.
And that's with Telewedo now coming online, and that really advancing.
Okay.
It's about $60 million US in revenue over the next 5 years if we did nothing else. But we
Okay.
really we've got a new VP corporate development, so we really are up there trying to expand the portfolio.
I think that's
a really
what
goal.
people would like to see from you
Yeah.
guys, because it's like, small and perfectly formed, but the growth, the upside is really where we need to be looking going forward, right?
I mean, I think we've probably said before, we're not just going to do deals for the sake of doing
Hell no.
deals and get a press release out. I mean, we're all big shareholders in the company.
Yeah.
We are very much there to create wealth for the shareholders.
Yeah.
And you have to do that wisely. And we've got the expertise, we've got the experience now to structure these deals and how to do good deals. We just need to be patient and not rush into things, which I know other people do because they need a press release out every week, which we're not going to do.
Okay. Well, look, thank you very much for giving us your time. I know you're busy around here. You hear the noise.
Yeah.
It's people, lots of meetings happening. Come back to let us know when you're sort of getting to the point where the deal that's happening.
Yeah.
Or any other kind of market commentary we would appreciate.
No, I'd love that. That would be fantastic. Thank you so
See you
much.
soon.
Thank you very
Great.
much.
Thank you.